Hey everybody, welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with the Miserable Liberal and special guest today, Nikko House from the MCSC YouTube channel. How are you, Nikko? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing fantastic, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming. People have been asking me to go on your show for a while.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, you live in Florida, so
I know.
it's not that easy because we're out here in California. But I wanted to, you were a part of the DNC or are a part of the DNC fraud lawsuit.
Yes.
So, there's been so tell me how you got involved with that and how did it happen and where is it at now?
So I was the president and founder of Carolina Students for Bernie Sanders at UNC. I was the later elected. I was a founder of North Carolina colleges for North Carolina too, for Bernie Sanders as well. So that was I organized the colleges and I was a leader for that, and I also organized UNC. And because of that, I also happened to be one of the community leaders there, and I was the acting state director for North Carolina until Aisha Due took over. So obviously I was pretty plugged into the Democrats there. I was even asked at one point to be the Orange County African American Caucus chairperson, but I just didn't like the Dems or how they did business, to be honest with you. I just liked the fact that I was working for Bernie Sanders. A lot of events happened. When we brought the new state director on, the state director actually canceled events and lied about why they were being canceled, said that we needed permits from the campaign for events that were never needed because I had been working with them already. In fact, they actually, for liability purposes, like to stay hands off from volunteer events because of the money that could be involved, which could obviously be a problem for the campaign if they were investigated. So the final straw came whenever my friend and somebody who was well known in the Bernie Sanders campaign called me. We kind of figured out that there was something going on, and then right after I got off the phone, that state director told her second in command at the time that I was not allowed to talk to my friend anymore because she was fired from the campaign, which was a lie, and they didn't know that we were talking. So after I did a video about it. It went viral on both YouTube and Facebook. People all over the country started contacting me, telling me that this exact thing was happening all over the country. So obviously at that point, it wasn't a coincidence anymore, and it wasn't an anomaly. This was an orchestrated event. And then you start hearing about situations happening in Alaska.
And so when you say, when you say this kind of thing is happening, the Democratic Party silencing people, or what is this kind of thing?
The Democratic Party was putting people in state director positions, field manager positions, regional field, all types of positions, and having them undermine the campaigns, the Bernie Sanders campaign.
The Bernie Sanders campaign.
On behalf of Hillary Clinton.
Right, okay. And that's what led you to get involved with the lawsuit?
Yeah, because I was doing research, and I was like, we have to figure out how to hold them accountable in the long run. And that's when I actually came across Jared and Elizabeth Lee Beck. We worked together. I was at their office every day. We put an investigative team together. And that's whenever, through the conversations between me and Jared, we figured out that, holy shit, the DNC is actually a nonprofit corporation, which is an angle that nobody in the political lawsuit had taken. And also, we knew it was really important to sue before they won, which is the point anyway, because I don't really care if Bernie Sanders won. That should not have happened. And we nedeed to make sure that didn't happen again in the future. And so that's where the DNC fraud lawsuit came from.
Oh, okay. And so you filed a lawsuit. Now, here's what you got. The thing that was amazing, you got the DNC lawyer to admit a lot of stuff in court.
Yeah,
which is
pompously, right?
So a lot of people said that the lawsuit is frivolous because you'll never win and it's going to get thrown out and all this stuff. And I made the point that there's more than one reason to file a lawsuit.
Yep.
One of the reasons is you want to draw attention to something, and to get people in open court have to say things on under oath. And so one of the things that was great already that's come out of the DNC lawsuit is that the DNC lawyer has admitted that they can do whatever they want. They can they can cheat, basically, is what they're saying, is that we can cheat and pick our nominee any way we want. And we don't have to be transparent about it. We don't have to tell you about it. And you can't sue us for it because we're a private organization. And that they admitted that in court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was a big deal. So now, so here's a headline. So the Florida judge dismissed the fraud lawsuit against DNC. Now tell me, why did that happen when that happened?
That was actually a jurisdictional dismissal.
Okay.
They didn't know, because we filed, pretty much Debbie Wasserman Schultz being a congresswoman technically has residency in both D.C. and in Florida. So the language of the lawsuit didn't really specify what we were suing as specific as the judge would have liked, because that could have actually come back later and biting us in the ass.
Yeah.
And it would have been just totally dismissed, or we could have lost on that rather than it being dismissed.
So that was just because, that was the judge saying, we don't feel we can actually have jurisdiction over this case.
Not that we don't feel like we don't have jurisdiction, but if this is going to go as far as we think it is, we want to make sure we nip this in the bud now, which is the most common reason cases like this get dismissed.
So then here's a more recent headline. Court ordered DNC fraud lawsuit to continue, and that's from January 11th, 2018.
Yes.
And here is the Twitter account. DNC fraud lawsuit says the 11th Circuit Court of Federal Appeals issued an order on the lawsuit today asserting jurisdiction and allowing appeal to proceed. But now it's proceeding.
Yes.
But there's a new development happened. What was it, in August or September?
It was actually the beginning of September. The judge decided 3 or 4 days before the lawsuit was supposed to be heard in open oral court in Miami, the judge recused himself. Which is, for those of you who don't know, a recusal means that you have a conflict of interest within the case that could, affect your trial. What I believe the conflict of interest is that the midterms are coming up. The last time they were in court, they said something that set off every headline about them being able to select whatever candidate they want to. They know that there's a high likelihood that will happen again, that it's going to be relitigated with even more detail, and there's even more proof stacking up that this not only is we do have the jurisdiction to bring it to this court, but also that they rigged it, right? Because the DNC fraud lawsuit got dismissed before Donna Brazile came out and said, yeah, it was rigged. It was literally rigged for Hillary Clinton. Here's how it was done. So it's problematic for the entire establishment, not just the Democratic establishment, not just the Republican establishment, but it exposes and it will expose everybody. If this case goes to discovery, which is what would happen after this court hearing, or what was supposed to happen, you have to think about we're going to be cross-examining Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Donna Brazile, Roland Martin for handing Donna Brazile the question that was given to Hillary Clinton, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Any media personality can be called that was involved. Even Ed Schultz, rest in peace, when he was talking about how MSNBC pretty much told him to pack up and go home when he was supposed to interview Bernie Sanders. So from the very beginning, it was clearly rigged. And it's a three-pronged lawsuit where it talks about how the people were cheated, Bernie Sanders himself was also cheated, and then anyone who was registered as a Democrat was also cheated, because they are under the impression that the Democratic Party is supposed to do whatever they can to win for the Democrats.
Right.
And that did not take place. The most common way any nonprofit is sued is by violating a contract, by taking money under false pretense. And they are a nonprofit, technically, and they did that. So this lawsuit would end up being a $900 million lawsuit, the largest political lawsuit in history, and the only one that is suing the corporation of the political organization rather than this kind of like ambiguous entity that kind of does what they want to.
Right. Well, so that is very, very suspicious. Tim Canova right now has realized that the system is rigged because the donors control both parties, meaning so the donors control who gets to enforce the law, which laws don't get enforced, just like how he was cheated in the primary, and he went to court and a judge agreed with him that those ballots were destroyed illegally. Well, still nothing happened because the donors control the justice system, and they control who runs the elections, and they both like Debbie Wasserman Schultz or Republican. They don't want Tim Canova. So that judge recusing himself right before the lawsuit was supposed to go forward, that's totally suspicious, and it looks like another establishment tactic.
Midterms are coming up.
Right.
Andrew Gillum has a chance to win. I think that he gave up his chance to win the moment he rebuked Medicare for All and decided he wanted to strengthen the ACA, which is not what he ran on. It's not what his website said. So,
all right, but we'll get to that we're going to talk about that in another clip. But all right, so Is there another date now for the lawsuit? What's the date for it?
I don't think that unless it's come out very, very recently since I've been in California the last 2 weeks, I don't think that they've been given a date yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the problems.
Okay.
Why do you think about it? Judges recuse themselves. They get enough advance notice that they're going to be on a case. You recuse yourself 2 or 3 days. You realize you had conflicting interests with this? Like 2 or 3 days?
Right. How did you not know immediately?
You didn't know before? You checked Twitter and was like, oh, I have conflicting interests with this case. I just remembered. I just remembered I was a corrupt establishment shill. My bad. Direct deposit hit this morning.
All right, Nikko House, thanks for keep getting us up to date on the DNC fraud lawsuit. I can't wait to see for the next court hearing. Will be fantastic. This is important, and I know a lot of people said it wasn't, but again, it's already revealed a lot of stuff. And so thanks for doing that. And everybody check out Nikko's YouTube page, MCSC, right? YouTube,
yep, MCSC Network.
MCSC
and on
Network.
Roku as well. We're on Roku. First independent news network on Roku.
Oh, look at you, big shot.
I'm trying to, man. I'm trying. Catch up. I'm trying to catch up.
Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are subscribed, there's a good chance you're not. So please check. It only takes a second. And then click that bell. And that's how you know you'll get a notice every time we drop a video. They still won't notify you every time we drop a video, but that's the best we can do. Plus, if you like the show, you want to support it, please become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every week. And come see a live show. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for our live schedule.